Dr. Davis, welcome to Explorations in Black Leadership. We're glad to have you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
No, it's our pleasure. Let me begin with the Brown decision. Do you remember much about it, meaning anything to you when you heard about it first? You were quite young.
I was about 10 years old, I believe, but of course intensely conscious of the system of segregation under which we lived. And I remember thinking that this probably is going to be the beginning of a new era. And I say that because my mother constantly told us that the conditions under which we were living, with which we were living, weren't supposed to be that way. And now, of course, I see myself as an activist as having been shaped by the fact that as young as, when I was as young as maybe 3 or 4, she emphasized that this is not the way things are supposed to be. It's true that you can't go to this museum today, but one day you will be able to go. This is not the way things are supposed to be. So I remember in my house and in our community, there was a major celebration.
And because your parents are school teachers, do you think they place special emphasis on this?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because the schools we attended, the elementary schools we attended, were not only segregated, black schools, white schools, but of course we were aware as pupils that we got the textbooks that were cast off by the white students. We were aware that this was a hierarchical situation. We were definitely aware of the relations of power there. And so each time there was a victory, 1954, 1955, it was a cause for great celebration in our household and in our communities, in our church.
That everyone was talking about it and what it might mean. There was a lot of community discussion about this?
Absolutely, yes. I remember all kinds of little resistances. I mean, I can remember teachers, my teachers, being called by their first name by the white representatives of the Board of Education, and some of them feeling very embarrassed, and some of them speaking back, and some of them coming under attack because they dared to challenge the right of a white representative of the Board of Education to call them by their first name. And I've said this many times, but I can remember as a very young child, games we used to play that actually challenged the system of segregation. We lived in a neighborhood that was right on the border of the white neighborhood. And so theoretically or legally, we weren't allowed to cross the street unless we were working or whatever. And so as children, we used to play games where we dared each other to run across the street to the white neighborhood. And sometimes those who would not only run across the street, but run up on someone's porch and ring their bell.
Oh, wow.
And run back and get to safety in time. So, I mean, that was a normal game that we played.
So you were a protester and an agitator from the very first.
Well, then it was fun.
Right.
But I recognize that those were little daily resistances that we were producing.